What is good, movie fans? This is Good Feeling Film, and this is going to be my first real video that's going to be on my channel. So what I'm going to do here is run down my top 10 movies from 2015. Right. To start off, I have a lot of honorable mentions. There's a lot of great movies out this past year, and it was hard making a list. I mixed and matched, I rearranged many times. I even saw a movie on the 31st that completely changed my list. So let me run down some honorable mentions here. So we got some big blockbusters that I really enjoyed but couldn't make it on my top 10 because they weren't good enough. So we have Avengers Age of Ultron, we have Ant-Man, we have Jurassic World. Some smaller movies that I really enjoyed. So Bone Tomahawk was a really underrated movie. Mississippi Grind, Peanuts I really enjoyed. And then the Netflix original movie Beast of No Nation I really loved. It was in my top 10 for a while. Then we have Me, Earl, and the Dying Girl was also a Sundance movie that I really enjoyed. And we have Carol, which is a really good, has lots of Oscar buzz around its performances. We have Brooklyn, also didn't make it on my top 10 list. 45 Years, The Big Short, Sicario, which was also really hard because I love Sicario. I watched it not in theaters. I watched it recently, and I loved it. The cinematography was amazing. Didn't make it on my list. Straight Outta Compton didn't make it on my list either. And the one real movie that I think has a lot of love for it this year, but for some reason I just didn't put it on the pedestal that lots of people put it on, was Mad Max Fury Road. It was really fun, great action. All the movies in my top 10 list beat it out, beasts that were of this year. So coming in at number 10, I really love this movie. The main performance was incredible. The story wasn't the greatest, but I love Steve Jobs, and Steve Jobs is my number 10. Michael Fassbender was incredible. He reminded me again why I loved him so much. I can't wait for him to be in Assassin's Creed next year. And the performances in this movie were just phenomenal. Seth Rogen was great. Everything about it was amazing. 9 is a movie that a lot of people also didn't really love because the director is a legend. He's one of the best, and they thought it wasn't his greatest work, but I still really enjoyed it, which was Bridge of Spies, directed by Steven Spielberg, starring Tom Hanks and Mark Rylance, and the performances again in this were beasts. Tom Hanks is one of the greatest actors of all time, and Mark Rylance really surprised me. I think he's gonna get nominated for Best Supporting Actor at the Oscars. I thought his performance was great, and just the feel of this movie, how during the Cold War it was a war, but there was no fighting, it was just talking. And I know a lot of people would be bored with this movie, but I was just enthralled with it, and it entertained me all the way through. Coming in at number 8 is a movie I saw recently over the winter holiday, and it is Anomalisa. Now, Anomalisa is directed by Charlie Kaufman, and he wrote the screenplay for it, and Charlie Kaufman is known as one of the best screenwriters ever. He did Synecdoche, New York, and Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, which are two great films, and Anomalisa was an animated stop-motion picture, which he co-directed, and it was spectacular. The story and the themes behind it were really strong. When I saw it was an animated movie, I was like, oh, all right, let me check out this animated movie. Maybe it could be in the running for an Oscar. Maybe it could actually be better than Inside Out. Coming in at number 7 is a movie I went to go see in the theaters, and I was surprisingly and happily entertained by it, which was The Martian, directed by Ridley Scott, and I'm so happy Ridley Scott is back in form after all of his stinkers and all this garbage he would make, like The Counselor. I was just like, Ridley, please come back. You did Alien, you did Blade Runner. Please make something good. Matt Damon was incredible. Jessica Chastain, everybody. This was ensemble cast, which is categorized as a comedy for the Golden Globe Awards. I don't know. It was definitely hilarious. I laughed a lot, but it's not a comedy. It's a great movie, and The Martian is my number 7. Number 6 is a movie that really changed my view on things. It really showed me the drama aspect of film, and this ensemble cast shines amazingly in Spotlight. Michael Keaton, Mark Ruffalo, Rachel McAdams, Liev Schreiber, amazing in this movie. Everyone was amazing in this movie. It's gonna get nominated for Best Picture. It might win Best Picture. I'm not sure yet. And it was incredible. I love the story, how these Boston Globe journalists were looking into these rapey priests. That is still a problem going on today. It's crazy, and I recommend everyone seeing this movie. Number 5, Creed. I was hearing good things about this movie. And Ryan Coogler, he has so much talent. The way he forms shots, it was incredible, and I had so much fun with Creed. Number 4 is Room. Room was a movie, ever since I found out about it, I was like, I need to see this movie. Ever since I saw Short Term 12 with Brie Larson, I was like, this girl has acting talent. She is incredible. After I saw it, I cried. I got so emotional. This showed a great, amazing child actor that is better than some experienced actors that do all these movies that have all this fame and glory, but this little kid acted better than them. And it was incredible. Brie Larson was amazing, and it was just the story of a mom and a son trapped in a room and then getting out after 7 years and experiencing the world again. Well, for the little kid, he was experiencing it for the first time, and just his thought process and the psychology behind it was intriguing. So Room is my number 4. Okay, so my number 3 is a movie that when I first heard about it, it was also on my most anticipated of the year. Everything about this movie seemed like it was going for that Oscar. And after seeing it, I think it might possibly get the Oscar for something. It has to get at least one Oscar, because this movie like changed my life. Like, okay, it didn't change my life, but it really opened my eyes, and I was like, wow, this is incredible. And that would be The Revenant. Alejandro G. Iñárritu. I love this guy. But this movie was incredible. Leonardo DiCaprio, when I first saw he was cast in this movie, like a lot of other people, I was like, is he gonna get his Oscar? I was like hoping and praying. I was like, if anybody could help him get his Oscar, it's Alejandro. And the purpose behind this movie, and Tom Hardy, by the way, he owned 2015 with Mad Max. This movie, I mean, it was Tom Hardy's year. Everything about this movie completely changed my view on what great cinematography is. This movie looks amazing, beautiful, and the action, everything about this movie. The filming of this movie must have been so hard, so incredibly rough. The weather seems unbearable. I mean, where did they even go to film this? I don't know what part of the world this is. It looks crazy, like these complete glaciers of ice. And the bear scene that you see in the trailer was just, oh my god. I mean, something I've never seen before. And some people have problems with the story and such, and like the dream sequences he has. Some people think it's pretentious. Sometimes I was like, okay, I know the scenery is beautiful, move on with the story. But overall, I was like blown away by this movie. So The Revenant is my number 3. So my number 1 and my number 2. I had a hard time. At one point I had them flip-flopped, but then I realized which movie I had most fun with, and that would be my number 1. But my number 2 is Ex Machina. Now, Ex Machina, I didn't know what it was. Like, I saw it, it came out, and I was like, what's this movie? And then I was like, I guess I gotta go see it. So I went to go see Ex Machina, and I came out shocked. First off, I found out who Domhnall Gleeson was from this movie. Domhnall Gleeson is incredible. Revenant, again, Star Wars, this movie, and Brooklyn. I mean, those are 4 beautiful pieces of art. Oscar Isaac also. He's also in Star Wars. And he's gonna be in X-Men Apocalypse, playing Apocalypse. These 2 guys are incredible. But the most important thing I got from Ex Machina was Alicia Vikander. This girl, I love this girl. After I found out about this movie, I went to her IMDb, I looked at all her filmography, and I went back and saw all the movies she was in. I loved her. Then I saw The Danish Girl, which also didn't make my list, by the way. And I loved her there too. I loved Alicia Vikander. Even her as a robot, oh my god, like, she was incredible. The visual effects of this movie are crazy good. Like, it doesn't even look, it looks like she's a robot. It looks like she was an AI robot. It blew me away. Machina is my number one movie of 2015. It's a movie I've been waiting for 3 years. The movie I had the most fun with. I've seen it 3 times in theaters. I'm planning to go see it another time. It's Star Wars The Force Awakens. I went to a opening night. I waited in line for 50 minutes, saw it at midnight, and came out a changed person. This movie was everything I hoped. Well, not everything. There are some things that let me down. To not pass under the prequel bar. You know, maybe edge out the Return of the Jedi bar. And if it would have passed the Empire Strikes Back bar, then thank you, JJ. But JJ, you did an incredible job. The bringing back of the old characters and the introduction of the new characters. I honestly think I like the new characters more than seeing the old characters. Like Rey, Kylo Ren, and Finn, Poe, BB-8, everything. All the new characters were incredible. You know, I have like a shrine of Kylo Ren now in my room because that's how much I love this guy. Rey is probably like the best female hero in my opinion since Ripley in Alien. You know, she is not a Mary Sue character, in my opinion at least. This movie was my favorite, you know. This movie was something that I've been waiting for, I've been hyped for. I saw the trailers, I saw nothing else, no TV spots. I didn't see any reviews before I saw it. I kept off social media for a week because I did not want any spoilers. And I saw it, and I had the best freaking time at the movies I've had ever with my friends, with a jammed-packed crowd full of Star Wars sweaty fans, and it was everything I could ask for. I love Star Wars and I love movies. So that was my list of my top 10 movies of 2015, and I hope you guys come back. So stay tuned, movie fans.